guys, Taryn here with Artshine. Today we are going to be working with foam clay or puffy clay, and it is so much fun to work with. I want you guys to make sure that you have your supplies ready before we get started. First off, before we get into anything, I want you guys to know that you're not supposed to open this clay in advance. So as we're working with it, we're going to be opening the clear packages and working with it as we go. That's because it does dry fairly quickly and will hold its shape, so we can't reshape it after it's been dried. So I want you guys just to make sure that you just open the packages as we go, and I'll give you prompts to do it. When you have extra clay, the package that the clay comes in is actually resealable. So you can put some of the open packages back in and do up the Ziploc to make sure that the air stays out so that the product stays nice and moldable for you while we're working. So you're going to want to make sure that you have your clay available. You're going to want to make sure that you have your sparkle packages, your assorted googly eyes. There's going to be some pipe cleaner in the package. And you're also going to make sure that you have a pair of scissors that you can just grab from home. And if you're not comfortable using the scissors or haven't used scissors before, make sure that you get your parents to come help you with this part. So let's sit down and get started. All set up here, and I want to just show you some of our little guys that we're going to be working on today. I'll pull this little fella here so that we can have a look at him. As you look at him, you're going to notice that there's a variety of circle shapes that are in this little alien. And something that's kind of cool about this is that once we master the circle, and we're going to squish some of the circles and make some big and some little, once you've got the circle thing down, you can create a ton of different aliens just using the circle shape. So we're going to be creating some little guys like this, some that are maybe a little bit taller, and all of these are just circles in different shapes. So what we're going to start with is a blue package. So you're just going to tear it open. Move my backdrop paper. And I'm also going to pick green, and I'll leave the other ones closed for now. The colors that you see on my originals, there's some guidelines, and as I'm using colors here today, you can use the same ones as me, but also feel free to get creative, and you can do your own color combinations. So we're going to start off by making this little fella here, and today I'm going to make him out of blue and green instead of the green and yellow. So we are going to start by just taking a small piece of the foam clay, and you're going to kind of play with it in your hands for a second, just because there's some air bubbles that are in there. You want to kind of break those. Plus it's super fun to play with. You're going to use the palms of your hands, and you're going to roll a ball. And you can just set that little guy down. We're going to take a slightly larger piece. This is going to be for the body. So we've just made the head here. Play with it in your hands for a few seconds. And then roll it into a ball. And you're going to kind of line those balls up, and you're going to want to make sure that you have one big one and one little one. Then we're going to take a very small amount, maybe a little bit more than that. And we're going to roll two tiny balls that are the same size. I like to kind of put them in a row as I'm making them so I can see the size difference. And the good thing about this clay is while it's still dry, you can add or take away. So I'm just going to add a little bit to this one here because it wasn't quite large enough. I want it to match size-wise. Okay, this one's still a little big. All right, and I'm gonna do 2 more balls that are the same size as these ones. 2 are gonna be for the feet, and 2 we're gonna use for these little shapes on the neck. And I'm gonna get green for the ears and for the 1 circle on the neck. And they're all the same size, or similar size anyways, it doesn't have to be perfect, to those blue ones that we made. And 1 more. Okay, so now I've got the body, the head, I've got 2 for the feet, 2 for the neck, 2 ears, and 1 to put a little colored circle underneath the neck. So let's put them all together. We're gonna start by squishing down all of the smaller circles that we've made. So we're gonna take it from a circle into a cookie shape. So just a little bit of pressure on your finger will turn it into a cookie. You guys are gonna get really good at making circles by the time you're done this project. Okay, so then I'm gonna take the body and I'm gonna start by building the neck. So I'm gonna take 1 little blue cookie and stick it on top, and another little blue cookie and stick that on top, and then a green one and stick that on top, and then put his little head on top of the green one. You will find that the clay is a little bit soft, so you want to be gentle with the way that you hold it. We're going to add these little blue cookies for feet at the bottom. And the clay will just stick to itself when it dries. So you'll kind of set him down. Give him a little squish so that he has a nice flat underside so it'll stand free once he's dry. And then we're going to take these ears and just attach them onto the side of the head. Okay, so this is the basic shape for our first little alien. You can grab one of your googly eyes from your assorted sizes of googly eyes. This guy I gave a pretty big eyeball. He's a one-eyed alien. I'm just gonna stick it on to his head. It's gonna flatten out the back of his head a little bit, and that is a-okay. Then I can open my red clay. We'll work with this color next, and we're gonna make this little smiley face. I'm not gonna take it right out of the package. I'm just gonna grab a tiny bit. I'm gonna roll a snake out of this. And just gently with my finger, I'm gonna roll a little snake. And then I'm gonna take that snake shape, I'm gonna bend it into a smile, and I'm gonna attach it just underneath his little eye. Or his big eye, rather, I suppose. There we go. And we have our little alien friend. Now, while our alien is still a little bit damp, this is when you can add some glitter if you want. So I just put my glitter on this foam plate, and I'm just gonna take the ears and dip them in the green glitter. Got a little bit on his cheek as well. And our first alien is done. So I just want to show you guys some different varieties using the same techniques that I've taught you to make some different little aliens in your family. So this little guy here, again, is very similar to the ones we created. He's just got the circles for the head and the body and the 2 little antennas. You can also vary the sizes. So here I've made a slightly smaller version of the first little guy that we made. So it kind of looks like a parent and a child. And then we've got this guy here, who's got his eyes on top of his antenna and polka dots on his body. So you guys can get super creative with creating your alien family. And the amount that you see here is roughly the amount that you're going to get out of the clay that we have. So you're going to be able to make a really large family. In my examples, I didn't show you guys the black, but we have some black in some of these guys here as well. And so you can use all of the colors you're provided with. So you'll have all of the colors in the color wheel plus some black to work with as well. All right, guys, the last step for this piece is to create the backdrop for the aliens. So you're just going to take your piece of cardstock. You're either going to get blue or black in your box. And you're going to evenly as you can, fold it into threes. And you'll kind of bend it open and it'll be able to stand on its own. And we're just going to draw some stars and the moon in the background. So we can start with the moon. We're going to draw with our metallic silver marker a circle. And then I'm just going to draw some circles inside the moon that are going to be void of color. And I can color in my moon. And then we're going to draw some star shapes. And there's a few ways that you can draw stars. You can do the star shape that meets at all the points. You can just freehand your star by drawing triangles. Or another one that I do is just starting in the center and kind of wisping my marker out. So you can draw a variety of different sized stars all over your backdrop. After you've got a variety of stars drawn, you're just going to use the tip of your marker and put some dots. These are the stars that are a little bit further away. Make some larger dots. And then when your backdrop is done, you can set up your little scene. So you can bring some of the aliens you've created. And set them up. Thank you so much for creating with me today, guys. I hope you had fun making your aliens. Just a reminder, when you're letting your aliens dry today, make sure that you set them on a piece of scrap paper so that they're easy to kind of pull off. They can get a little bit stuck if you leave them on a table. Make sure that you guys send us pictures of what you've created. We love to see the things that you're making and how you've each put your unique spin on them. You can check us out on social media and just continue to be creative and stay safe. We'll see you guys next month.